To answer the question in the title, no, it's not. But a lot of people would have you believe this was a very bad anime season. And I think it really does just boil down to the fact that if there isn't insert five big names, JJK, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, the like, people think it's not a good season. This list right here, there's a handful that I would say is like a mid enjoyable watch, but there is so many great shows, like shows that have character writing that slap on pretty much every big name show. Here's looking at you, this monster wants to eat me. Best take on depression I've ever seen. Like, I get it to a degree. We're so terminally online that unless we have people screaming in our ear, it's a great season. And when those same voices scream how dog shit the season is because they're too busy grifting on insert political issue of the week, we think it's a bad season. There's definitely a lot of bad anime, but I had to literally skip out on like 6 shows I wanted to check out. So I disagree that it was bad. But let's rank everything. We haven't been doing it for a little bit, mainly because I ran out of time. I think going forward, maybe for like the first month of an anime season, we'll do it weekly, and then we'll probably finish it at the end of a season or something. I don't know. It'll adjust. But obviously, Kaguya-sama airs a day after this is being uploaded, so we can't do that. But I imagine it'll be enjoyable. So let's start out with some of the bottom tier shows. Hero Without a Class. This is a thoroughly enjoyable show. I might move it to good because I do think the last stretch of the show was actually quite good. But right now we're going to say it was a mid show. Enjoyable mid. Like, sometimes you want fast food, and that's what this show delivered. I enjoyed Hero Without a Class. Disney Twisted Wonderland was a pretty good show. Honestly, I can see arguments of why people would call it mid. I think it was like, it's like, if I had a spot in between this, that's where Twisted Wonderland would have go. But very enjoyable. Banished Court Magician. Right now, we're going to leave it here. Probably going to bump it up here. But right now, I need to see how I formulate this. Doesn't do anything too extraordinary outside of some action scenes. But then there's also some episodes that are actually dog shit production. But I had a fun time with this show. I really did. What should we do next? Dark History Villainess. Pretty good watch. Probably my favorite of the Villainess shows this season. I gotta be real. That's a bold take for some people, but it is the most enjoyable show for me out of the Villainess. May I ask for one final thing? Really fun watch. A lot of people would put it in the great category, and there's definitely some great and peak episodes. But for me, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Not going to really elaborate further. One Punch Man. Need I say more? Undead Unluck. This special was pretty great. Gachikuta. I mean, it was no One Punch Man, that's for sure. My Hero, you know, it was alright. I wonder how many people bought into that. No, but I actually dropped it. And it was because of the fandom. Fuck the fandom. My life got a lot more peaceful after that. To Your Eternity. Overall, pretty great. Fucking sus as hell arc with that one guy. But what they've been doing with the knockers and everything, I feel better doing this because I've seen more of this. What they've been doing with the knockers and the storyline and Fushi's like struggles to deal with things is so much more interesting than anything in the past 2 seasons. And if you know how much I've ranted and raved about the past 2 seasons of To Your Eternity, kind of self-explanatory. Toganaki, I forgot about you. I'm not caught up. I'm literally halfway through the show right now. But I think it's a good show. I do. I really do. I think it's incredibly overhated. I think the action's great. It's a battle shonen through and through, so the characters that are annoying by the internet standards are no more annoying than half the other show people glaze. I think it's a really good show, personally. Grieving Soul was overall a pretty great season. I don't think it was a peak season, but it was really, really funny. And I think the last arc they did, the last handful of episodes, the funniest thing, like the punchline of what this man did with that fox, and that probably sounds really sus if you're not watching the show, but the way he's ended up with 2 tails is I can already see how the author wants to end this series, and it is the funniest fucking thing. Oh, here we go. My status as an assassin. Now, if yes, the internet, it's the most dog shit show known to man. I really liked it. I really did. Bare minimum, good. But I honestly think it was pretty great. I gotta ponder my overall thoughts though. I gotta ponder my overall thoughts. Monster wants to eat me. I'm gonna ponder this a little more. We'll get back to my thoughts there. Sonda. It was actually, I understand why a lot of people didn't watch this. It is a very weird show that deals with adolescence and growing up and changes of bodies, and it's weird. It's like Yuri Kuma level weird. But fuck, man, did Science Zero cook with that show. You already know I love my Isekai Quartet. The show's like unironically peak. I'm honestly shocked with this number of characters that they made every single character work, you know? This is Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon. Pretty great. Pretty great watch. Monster Wants to Eat Me. High functioning depression. Probably the best take on depression I've ever seen, and the ending is so bold. I can't get over the fact enough that people write this show off. They're like, oh, it's just some monster girl Yuri. No, it's literally about a suicidal girl who at every step of the way is trying to find a way out of life. And they end it in such a bold way that doesn't magically solve depression, but leaves it open that she has as much of a chance of ending her life someday as she does potentially finding a new way to live with the fact that her whole family's dead. Boring season, they say. Boring season. Gnosia. That might be controversial, but I do think I enjoyed My Hero more. Also, it's the ending of a show, so it kind of makes sense that I'm like at the end I have more enjoyment. But Gnosia was fucking good. Like if you want time travel done right, looping mechanics, all that fun jazz, this show's peak and it's carrying into the next season. It's going to be 21 episodes total, so that is fantastic. Spy Family. You know what's annoying about Spy Family? People unironically try telling me nothing is happening, that the plot barely moves. It is a slice of life about a family. You have an assassin and you have a spy. Ignoring Anya, of course. How is their relationship going to speedrun into magical love when both think it is a lie and they are both slowly falling? It should be a slow burn. And honestly, the slice of life and the arcs and the characterization, I just don't get how people unironically look at this and say it was the show drags. The worst episode of Spy Family is still very, very enjoyable. Like, I just disagree with the thought process of people. I really do. Right now, we're going to keep Wild Last Boss at great. I really enjoyed the show, but I don't want to have too many in peak unless I truly, truly think they were peak. You know, like close to perfect. And there's things I would clean up about this, but I'm so happy it's continuing. Like this, as an example. Come on. Yeah. Chainsaw Man? Did it actually air this season? No. But did it finally become available for English watchers? Yes. So it gets put in this list. Kamen Rider. This one's hard. I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and most of the episodes I put in peak. But I think for myself, my own enjoyment, I think it was a great watch. I do. But I don't think I like it to the same degree overall of these shows here. You know what I mean? Okay. I actually like this list a lot. Ignore drop down there, okay? Let's just give a quick overview on my thoughts. Chainsaw Man, fucking flawless, highlights that so many people misunderstand what makes Chainsaw Man good. Character writing on point. Fantastic ending. Fuck the haters. They were wrong. Every reaction proved that their crybaby nonsense made no sense. Gachakuda could be an upcoming modern classic if they keep up the seasons. Gnosia, fantastic time travel. Isekai Quartet, fantastic Isekai series that blends every show like it is their own show, despite interacting with 15 other series. Sonda, adolescence, story of growing up, just handled wonderfully. Monster Wants to Eat Me, best take on depression. I think these are the closest to 10 out of 10s, my peak of the season. Everything in the great category is borderline peak at multiple points, but I don't love them to the same degree as that peak category. Kamen Rider, fantastic insanity. Wild Last Boss, great isekai. 2 Year Eternity, might have had issues with it more than I've had issues with 2 Year Eternity, but the good is so much better than even the best of the stuff of the past 2 seasons. Spy Family is progressing. I will not be taking full any other questions. Some of the most emotional, actually way more action this season as well. Didn't need that, but it was fun. Revenge Tour done right when it came to Backstabbed and Backwater Dungeon. Is that the show level? I double checked. That is part of the name. I was worried I was thinking of a different show, but my gift level 9,000 bullshit Backstabbed. Really good Revenge Tour. Grieving Soul is always going to be great. I think bare minimum. Undead Unluck special OVA was great, and actually different studio than just like David Production. I think was slightly involved, but it was actually a different studio, and I couldn't even tell the difference. So that's amazing. I do think this is like a peak isekai, but there's plenty about the arcs that are messy that like I'm not a huge fan of, but I forgive because I didn't want to see some of the bullshit. And I think as a character, Akira is one of the best isekai characters of the year. And you know, borderline great. But yeah, no, I'm happy calling this like a 7 out of 10 watch. It was enjoyable. Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess. Girl gets isekai'd into her own fan fiction, and it is hilarious. Production, not the best, but very enjoyable. May I ask for one final thing? This will ruffle some feathers. Like I said, good is not an insult. I think this was a thoroughly good show. I do. Status Assassin will piss people off, but I don't give a fuck. It's my list. Togenaki, it's just a good watch. It's fun as fuck. It's shonen through and through, and I like it. Twisted Wonderland, if they keep the same MC with future seasons, I see this developing nicely. Otherwise, it's a fun watch. It's a fun twist on villains and Disney characters I've come to know and love. Banished Court Magician, as well as Hero Without a Class, the kind of mid-watches of the season. Nothing great. Like, I'm going to forget about both of them probably, but if I see a Season 2 announcement, I'll enjoy it. 'Tis a shame, but honestly, One Punch Man's not my life. I don't really give a fuck that it didn't turn out that great when I have all these other shows that I thoroughly enjoyed watching. I don't know. You can let me know what you thought. Was this the worst season for you? Because honestly, there's a type of show on this list for everyone, if you ask me. But, man, doesn't it... It's so good. So good when you have shit taste, when you can actually watch things that aren't just forced down your throat by grifters online. But yeah, there's a lot of great looking stuff upcoming, but I honestly thought this was in the top half of my anime seasons of this year. I really enjoyed fall, and I'm going to miss fall, but I'm excited to jump into a new season. Thoughts down below. Let me know what you enjoyed the most, the least, whatever. You can catch full live reactions to every single show on this list, because we didn't do full coverage of every single show on this list on YouTube, because that is how it goes. So if you want to see full reactions and all that stuff to anything on this list, you thought, oh shit, I didn't know you're covering it. Lives over on Patreon. We'll be doing that the same thing for the next upcoming season. And yeah, we'll see how the season turns out. Thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz. And until next time, catch you later. Have a good one.